have a lot of great expectations for the last 3 quarters of this century. I can see a vision of wonderful things taking place in the last 75% of this century. 2025, to 2200 and so on. We know that the White House, has been plagued, for some time now. It's not a recent thing. It's been plagued with a lot of evil influences, a lot of problems that shouldn't be there. And we can see, though, that in that last 3 quarters of this century, God is going to begin to sanctify and set apart the White House and the occupants of the White House like never before from all these evil influences. And it's going to be a time when God is truly going to walk up through this country and through the White House and begin to cleanse away the things that are preventing the prosperity of all people in the country and the proper leadership and all of those things which hold back everyone developing their resources, everyone having a good future. The education system and all is going to pretty well transform into a more effective education system. And we're going to see how that by following the leadership of the Holy Spirit and God and His plan and His vision, that this vision of God that has been taking place among many people, they've been for decades now, is going to begin to take hold. And the White House is going to become a new place. It's going to become a place where real things are accomplished for not only for the church, but for all of the impoverished people, for all of the people that are living in poverty, and for all of those that are in groups that are basically disenfranchised from the best parts of the country and its resources. And we are going to see how that all of this begins to become clear, how it's all going to work together to help everybody. I mean, it's going to be like as if people that are very well off, have lots of money and, several houses and lots of land and all this kind of thing, are going to begin to see like they haven't before, how all of this transpiring and taking place in the way of a lot of people being raised out of poverty, and a lot of people being set on a higher ground as far as their resources, and having the availability of more resources is going to actually make the lives of those with resources and with a lot of money a whole lot better. It's gonna make everybody's lives better, and that's the good thing about the vision is it's not going to be something that where there's going to be like a heavy tax load and people are going to be suffering from inflation and all them kinds of things. Not going to happen because the vision is going to be there as to how to accomplish all of these things in a way that causes people to cooperate and work together and begin to trade ideas, begin to see how everyone can contribute in a way that will stop a lot of the need of high government expenditures. In the medical field, for instance, we are going to mushroom in our effect to heal diseases, to overcome diseases and deal with diseases, in that way that the medical field does. Of course, God just heals the diseases, period, and doesn't cost anything. But in the way that the medical field deals with patching up the people's as the after effects of diseases and all that they've got themselves into. the government, as the government has had to, undergo expenses in that, and as everybody's had to go into expenses and higher insurance and all them kinds of things because of all the high cost of the medical, we're going to see the medical field begin to mushroom in its technology in such a way that it's going to be unbelievable how it can just begin to lower its costs more and more, and everything will cost less, and people will be moving more and more to alternative medicines where that will relieve the cost of medical care. And we are going to have a vision as to how to deal with health and health issues like we don't have right now, but it's going to happen, and it's not going to be that far away. So we can see the vision of that too. And so by all of these things working together, the dynamic of the entire thing is to bring tax load down, and a lot of even regulation will be not as necessary because people are going to cooperate together. We're going to sanctify away these evil influences that have caused so much problems in every area. And so I am just excited about the way that I see God moving, and the way that I know that as God begins to, he's going to come walking through our political system. He's going to come walking through the White House. And there's not going to be there's going to be a lot less need for talking. There's going to be a whole lot more vision for action. And so we're going to have action, and we're going to have great contributions and got among the citizens of the country to bettering the country. We're going to have a lot of course, a lot of prayer going on and things like that, and a lot of revivals going on in the churches. But that cooperative spirit that comes from all of these things working together, the leadership being sanctified away from the evil forces, and the governments and even the state capitals and everything beginning to take better charge of what goes on in their states as far as providing the needed resources to lift people out of poverty and so forth. All this great cooperative effort that's going to take place is going to cause people to begin to do things that are going to take care of themselves more. And they're not going to need the government as much. And they're not going to need, therefore, for taxes to continue to increase. And the greater resources, as the greater resources are passed among all the people more equally, and I said more equally, but actually that's not going to be the consideration. The consideration is going to be that the resources are going to be there for everybody. And it won't be a matter of comparing my resources to your resources. It'll be the fact that everybody will have the resources. And according to their creativity and according to their effort and their ingenuity and everything, they'll be able to multiply those resources. But the resources will be available to those who can utilize them and want to utilize them. The resources will be there for them to utilize. And so that's going to cause a lot of invention. Invention is going to pick up. Innovation is going to pick up. Creative ideas, creative writing, all sorts of things that they'll make life easier is going to mushroom. Energy cost will come down because there'll be new energy sources, and there'll be more efficiency in the usage of energy, and there'll be generally better quality in everything from automobiles to like we've already gotten in light bulbs, where we've got light bulbs that don't use virtually no energy anymore. You can leave on 12 light bulbs all day long, and it's not going to cost you more than just pennies. And so, things like that are going to increase more and more with nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is going to cause medical instrumentation to be much higher effect in its effectiveness, and therefore the cost is going to come down. Just like computers are going to become much more efficient. And like we know about the 5G and how it's going to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of everything. And so as a result, as we begin to look toward that last 3 quarters, which is not that far away, 2025, that everything's going to begin to, the vision is going to begin to at least be seen and begin to be taking place of the wonderful future that we are going to see begin to form. And then a lot of these different arguments that we are having today will just be non-applicable, just a mute point, and there won't have to be so much division, because what will happen is we're going to get leaders, and here's a good point that I'm trying to make. We are going to have leaders with vision that are going to take care of all the needs without having to have one party fighting against the other because they know the other party won't take care of those. Like for instance, the disenfranchised and the minorities and all that are so in need of resources and everything. They won't be able to say, they're not going to be able to say, oh, we'll have to vote for a Democrat or we'll have to vote for a Republican because the other party, their leaders are not going to have the vision to see what we need. But because any of our presidents and any of our senators and congressmen are going to begin to have the same vision of, and the motivation to vision, and especially the president is going to have the motivation to the kind of vision that whatever party is in, the party is not going to be what matters. It's going to be the vision of what's going to take place in the last 3 quarters of the century, and he or she is going to have their mind on that and taking care of that vision. And it's going to that because he or she's going to know that that's going to take place regardless of what party is in power at the time. And this is one of the great things we need to look forward and see. That the parties going one party going this way, one going that other way, is and having these different notions between liberal and conservative, and between socialism and conservatism and all like that is going to become, in one sense of the word, archaic. But we're going to return to our ideals in such a way and our foundations in such a way that those things will become immaterial, because everyone will see that in order to maintain that vision and have that vision transpire, we're all going to have a sense of understanding what our true heritage is, and maintaining principles and maintaining the rules and the type of righteousness and understanding and love for people that is going to cause us to flourish, and if we were to leave those at any time, that's going to begin to hurt the country more. Much more, and it's going to begin to backtrack and all like that, and people will realize that, and they'll recognize that much more, and so we'll see how that we can really actually put ourselves on a firm foundation to have prosperity that will not be changing between when one party comes into power and then when the other comes in, from that to the other party. Whatever party is in power, the program is going to continue more and more into prosperity. The thing's going to be, it's going to come to an end where we're trying to leave one race out, or whether we're going to try to leave one class of people out, or we're going to try to leave certain groups out. All groups are going to be included and in the vision of the future, because what we're going to see is we're going to see how all of those groups being included is going to add to the abundance and the prosperity of the country as a whole. And so I'm going to pray about that now, that you'll see that vision and realize what's going to begin to transpire. And I pray that if you need healing, that God, we're going to pray right now together that anybody that needs healed, they're going to be raised up and healed. And anybody that needs joy in their life, needs to overcome oppression, depression, concession, anything else, that they will be healed of that right now. They will see a great vision. It'll give them happiness and joy in their life. We pray all these things in the name of thy holy Son, Jesus. Oh, God, Father, in the name of thy holy Son, Jesus, heal people, raise them up, give them joy, give them power.